Alright. Got a batch of curse submissions actually to get through. They all kind of came in at once. This one technically is not submitted directly to me, but I saw it on a Reddit thread, so thought I'd give it a shot. Wow, it's okay. Definitely a lot of people have played through this one. Looks like most have beaten it, so you know, it may not actually be necessarily that cursed, so we'll just have to see. Soul Guard and Torch. Yeah, I mean, Soul Guard and Torch is a good combo. And then Pyre Savagery, good Pyre. So I would imagine it's not too bad, but we'll see. And you know, I think Soul Guard, it doesn't surprise me, I guess, that this comes from Reddit, because Reddit seems to have like a distorted view of Soul Guard, in that I see a lot of people complain about like Soul Guard being weak, which is just wild to me, because Soul Guard feels like one of the most powerful champs in the game to me, especially in this combo. You know, Cold Channel can have some combos where it's weak, but not in this combo. This combo has a ton for Cold Channel, and then if you don't take Cold Channel, you just take Titan Channel. So, I mean, I guess the worst situation is when you're in a combo that doesn't use Cold Channel well, and then you're offered just Dire Channel and Cold Channel, but Dire Channel's acceptable in that situation. So we'll just see. Alright, we got Entropy, which is maybe sometimes annoying into Cold Channel. Flesh Weaver, Spiked Mess. It's the easiest version of Flesh Weaver, but it's still, you know, it's Flesh Weaver. It's just way harder than Archeon. I mean, I could see maybe Cold Channel has some issues into how ridiculous Flesh Weaver is, but KL damage shield, not too scary there. We start with a Pauldron, so I definitely would, you know, even with a Flesh Weaver, with a Pauldron start, I would definitely be open to a Cold Channel if it's offered. Then we got Alpha Fiend, pretty good start, pretty good card. I mean, it's arguably the best Hellhorn banner in Monster Train 2. Mollusk Mage sucks, but with torches, at least it has something to interact with. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent looking start. Though we didn't get any spell starters, so, you know, incant. All of the lines will want to incant, but... Alright, so it's Dire Channel and Titan Channel. So, I think in this situation, you just always take Titan Channel. I mean, if you look at them side by side, you get literally twice the amount of attack per incant, plus the health. Whereas Dire Channel doesn't get any of that. Plus, it's an action, so you can't, like... You know, there are some ways to add, like, Trample or Multi-Strike to Titan Channel. Where there really aren't to Dire Channel. And, you know, even to some degree, Pyre of Savagery also interacts with the Titan Channel. So, you know, I think the only reason to take Dire Channel ever is if it's up against Cold Channel, and Cold Channel doesn't look like it might be that good in the particular combo or starting cards. Otherwise, if I look at Dire Channel and Titan Channel side by side, I just don't see any world where I would ever take Dire Channel over it. Okay, Shattered Halo, typically very good with Hellhorn. It's maybe not as good with Stygian. Yeah, I mean, Hellhorn, there are some bricks, because obviously you won't be getting Imps, so Impalate and Transcendent are useless, but most of the other stuff is having some either baseline value, like Alloy or Rage Room, even Dark Deal to some degree. And then, and even, you know, Spike of Hellhorn, as bad as it is, it's a way to get Rage to then set up something like a Last Stand, plus the numbers are okay for the early game. Reinforce, similar to Last Stand, you kind of need to get something going for it to be good. It's also just worse than Last Stand, but, you know, it can be a card that we use eventually. And Warhammer Tome, often pretty good in Monster Train 2, especially since we already have Fortified Pauldrons, and we're likely to get armor. You know, we'd have to low roll pretty hard to not get, like, Alloy or Spike. I suppose it could happen, but we also have Incant Armor upgrade for Merchant of Steel since Stygian is involved. So already just looking through that, I know this is going to be worth taking. Plus, it was up against. Well, I don't remember. Well, I'll have to double check what it's up against. Whatever it was up against didn't stand out to me, so. You know, usually a shattered Halo Ring 1 I'm just always taking over almost anything in the game. Unless I have Under Legion as my clan. But yeah, I mean, looking at the Stygian rares, they're just not quite that good. You know, the Spike Stygian sucks. Harness Titan can be okay. But it's mainly interacting with Ice and Pyre when you have a Shattered Halo. You know, it's a lot better when you can actually have Crypt Builder or Titan's Gratitude. But yeah, a lot of these others just aren't that good. Frost Piercer, I'm pretty adamant, is like one of the worst equipments in the game. I think Science Song actually kind of sucks. The more and more I've sat with it, I'm just like, I miss the old version. I much rather would have had them rework like either Ice Tornado or Crystalline Seeds. Those could be much better candidates, I feel. And then they could just nerf Siren Song's spell. It was much more interesting as a spell, in my opinion, but, you know, it is what it is. And then Synergy can be alright. Deep Offering, I think, is pretty weak post-nerf. Plus, with this, there's just no offering cards that we can get. Gifts can be good if I get Consume Remove, but, yeah, and Hoarfrost Effigy is just absolute cheeks. So, Stygian certainly is bad, like, but I think, oh yeah, it's up against Cuddlebeard. I mean, if I had Titan, or if I have Cold Channel, I would actually take Cuddlebeard here, though, to be honest, but, yeah, I mean, we're just going to take Shattered Halo. There's not really much reason for me to take Cuddlebeard, unless I'm, like, I guess there's a Stygian banner there. There's like, yeah, just, wow, this is like a 0 banner unit map. So only one Stygian banner. Chance of Titan Sentry is really low too, so there's just really no reason to take Cuddlebeard. Live with the Shattered Halo. -1 per turn is pretty much non-impactful. So we'll go top. And then just try to incant as much as we can until we pop. Alright, double Pauldron start. That's interesting. Spines. I think it was Rage Boss, right? I hope so, because I guess Sap Boss could technically pose some issues, but I don't know. We'll have so many stats. -2. You know, I might as well put the Pauldrons here, I think, because I do want to maybe get big torches. We'll go here. I'd rather get an incant here. It's an 8/8 instead of just 6, you know, some damage on this unit that's going to die anyway, right? Alright. And we want the Strike and we want the Slay, so we will not torch that. Let's see if we can discard... I do want to get 2 incants here if I can, though. Perfect. And then we'll kill that one. I guess put that one there. Incant here. Still no reason to pop. Could pop here, or I could just wait. I mean, it's probably got enough stats, though, to beat the boss. I could just start getting my, stats, or my, permascaling on Savagery now. I think it's probably worth min-maxing that. That's more than enough stats. We could have, if we didn't have Pyre of Savagery here, I would just torch this guy and keep the guy in stasis, but if we already know we're probably beating the boss with this insane top floor, might as well get my permascaling started. $49. We want that strike. We don't want to take any damage. Do this. We want this to be killed by Titan Channel if we can help it. And these are dying, so we'll just torch you twice. We don't want to play anything here because we're already running. We don't want to accidentally steal kills. Alright, we got... It's annoying. I should elaborate on why I don't like Frostpiercer. I mean, you've probably heard me talk about it before, but in case you haven't, I think it's overcosted for what it does. Frostbite equal to half the damage dealt. It's not actually that much Frostbite in a lot of cases, and it's useless against the waves in a lot of cases. If you think about it, it has to go on either a sweeper, which, with one Stygian on the map, similar to like the Titan Sentry evaluation, it's like, granted there are 2 sweepers, so it's somewhat likely if we go to this Merchant of Steel. I don't even know that we're going to the Merchant of Steel, by the way. Like, I could see reasons to go either way here. But, and honestly, if I take the Ancient Synergy, I think I should go to the Merchant of Magic. Yeah, there's dupes, good amount of dupes, and they're all before ring 6. Like, priming an Ancient Synergy to a 1 cost would be potentially a pretty good card, and we would want to hit these magics to do that. Where are the magic? So we know... So there's a ring 3 magic too, though, so we don't have to reach for this magic necessarily. But it is still easier hitting both those magics to comfortably get that card down to a 1 cost. And then there's no magics before the dupes, so that would be the route we want to go if we want to take Ancient Synergy, I think. Otherwise, we just take Siren Song. I think Siren Song has some anti-synergy with the Pyre of Savagery, though. Obviously, we want to slay units, but we don't need to play that much into Pyre of Savagery, I suppose. Yeah, I think the tough thing is, like, Titan Channel Soulguard typically wants to go top floor. I mean, there is some synergy with the fact that I could, if I deploy the Siren Song, which I would have to hit a Merchant of Arms to do, which is, yeah, I guess if we take that, we're going Steel Arms if we take the room here, I would think. But, I could deploy it, and then I can deal with the early waves most of the time. The thing is, Savagery has really high attack power for the Pyre, the highest in the game, and so Siren Song's good in that sense. So it's not actually anti-synergistic with the Pyre of Savagery necessarily. It actually has both synergy and anti-synergy to some degree. Because your units won't kill them, so they don't permascale, but we may not care that much about the permascaling. And, even early on, this is going to kill every tank in the early game, and we'll get even more attack. It'll kill pretty much any tank in the game other than the end game. And even for the end game, as long as I soften them up a little bit, then that's doing pretty good. It does have some anti-synergy into the spiked mass, because they have spikes, but that's not too much damage. And plus, if I am going Merchant of Arms, we're getting some Pyre remains. So it could be that Siren Song is pretty good here. I mean, another thing about the Ancient Synergy is, like, it's just an okay card in Monster Train 2, in my opinion. Like, the upside isn't that much, unless you're paired with, like, Luna Coven or something, and can maybe, make it attuned. But the Merchant, yeah, it's like, I guess I'm like, there's a lot of good Hellhorn Rares. The main reason we took Shattered Halo is for their Hellhorn Rares, and they're going to take priority over an Ancient Synergy if we get any of those good cards, which we're likely to get. We haven't even gotten our draft yet. This call, I could immediately just get a better card than Ancient Synergy to want to invest in. And at that point, I've taken a Calcified Ember, and I've taken a 3-cost shitty spell. So, I am definitely leaning toward the Siren Song here. And I don't know, I just don't think Frost Piercer is really worth including in any deck. I think it is kind of that bad of a card. It can work sometimes. It's mainly useful for shortening Relentless rounds, I think, which could be something we want into Fleshweaver. You know, the old version of Siren Song would be so much better here still, because I could actually daze the Fleshweaver, because this guy's, even though More Mass is the worst version of Fleshweaver, this thing still hits pretty hard, and not being able to daze it kind of sucks, but at least we don't have to worry about the waves. And the nice thing about Siren Song is it also has a synergy with the Soul Guard in that it gives me several more turns where I can just leave this thing in stasis and then get a giant Titan Channel pop for when I need it. So yeah, we'll take the Siren Song, long story short. Alright. Pretty sure we just take the Alloy of Ancients. Out of these three, it's by far the most valuable, just heuristically speaking. And, you know, Reinforce, I think you can pretty much never take early. It's really not going to be useful, but late game it can be sometimes taken. And Spike, like I said, it's okay for the early game, and it does give us a way to get some rage to maybe set up the last stand, but honestly, I don't know. There's some anti-synergy with Alpha Fiend and the Siren Song too, because obviously I can't get my strikes in. I may just run Alpha Fiend on a different floor, so it can get strikes. It's expensive, so if I deploy this, it may not be coming out even, but the Spike, I guess what I'm saying, would give me a way to scale. Here's the thing. Honestly, for most of this game, I don't need anything other than Soul Guard and Siren Song, though, for scaling. Like, I can get this thing gigantic and it'll kill any boss. The Siren Song clears out any of the waves. So do I really need offensive scaling when it's bad, like Spike, or even the Last Stand, right? Like setting up the Last Stand and taking a Calcified Ember? I don't think so. I think we just take the Alloy. Alright. And, I don't know, now that I have Alloy, I could maybe argue going to the right. We have... The Alloy is a great user of Consumer Move, and to some degree, Double Stack. It's not really what I'm looking for, but I would take a Double Stack if it's offered. Getting some damage on the torches might be okay, just to prepare for Entropy. I mean, I do need to hit a magic at some point to do that, because there's not really... With the Shattered Halo, we don't really have any flat AoE. Unless I hit a sweeper here. That's pretty much my only option at flat AoE. Or I guess maybe in some cases sweeper with the Merchant of Arms. You know what I just realized? I don't know why this just popped in my head, but if I were to put the sweeper card on Alpha Fiend, the whatever it's called, the mace, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Iron Tongue, I think. I wonder, the lane, what is the, well, whatever. I'm just curious if the strikes, I know they wouldn't obviously make it do any damage while it has that equipment there, but I'm wondering, like, if I struck with a sweep and then eventually replaced the equipment, would it actually persist all of those strikes scaling? I wonder about that. I've lost my train of thought, though. I think we still go left. I mean, I don't know. Here's my thought. You know, Stygian, I think almost every Stygian banner to some degree would be useful to us. Incant unit to pair with Soul Guard could give us better value out of just spamming incants on that floor. Sweeper could give us the flat AoE that we might need. Plus it's just good with Pyre of Savagery. And a Titan Sentry could be at least opening up some upgrades at the steel and be useful. You know, endless, large stone, dualism, stuff like that. So it's looking pretty good to go left here. If I go to the right, I could. I don't know. The Hellhorn banners are pretty good too, but there's a few that I wouldn't really want. You know, Horned Warrior wouldn't be too good right now. Even Branded Warrior to some degree wouldn't be that good. I would only really want tanks, so like Railbeater or Steelworker, to pair with the Alpha Fiend, just so they can go on their own floor and I can spam in cans top. But I don't know, we're hitting Merchant of Arms. This is really my only chance to... I think there's a low chance that I'm hitting this Merchant of Magic. So, really, this is our only chance to get a banner unit other than the Fleshweaver reward. So, I do need to get something that either pairs with Soulguard or pairs with Alpha Fiend. And the Hellhorn units would pair with Alpha Fiend better because I don't have to focus on the floor. The Stygian unit, the Incant, would pair better with Soulguard. And only really Titan Sentry would pair with Alpha Fiend, because it's a tank that I don't have to worry about. I would need like a Siren, even the Sirens aren't necessarily good with Soulguard other than Siren of the Sea, you know, because it's like the Nameless Siren would just die if I'm going top floor a lot of the time to like the flying bosses. It's good in the other fights. But it also might just be win more to have a Nameless Siren, you know what I mean? It's like, my Soulguard's probably killing any boss in the game with a Siren Song up top, and it does make me kind of want a Hellhorn unit more, I feel. So it's like, it's really, even like a Guard of the Unnamed is really not that necessary, because, yeah, pretty much Siren of the Sea is the only unit that pairs well with Soulguard realistically here because of the Siren's song, making the other stuff just not that needed. And even the Sirens, even the Siren of the Sea is not necessarily even that necessary. It's just like making me feel better about my incants. But really, do I even need to feel that good about incants when I'm getting such ridiculous value out of them already just with a Soulguard? Meanwhile, I can get a you know, potentially a tank. There's 2 tanks that I could get for Alpha Fiend, but I don't know, if I don't get those 2 tanks, it's kind of a wasted banner here, whereas like, this is a tough choice actually, because the Alpha Fiend really only benefits from multi-strike, really. I guess a Smidge Stone could work too. So like the steel could be bricky. Stygian banners though could really open up what's good there. Yeah, this is tough. Well, what's the worst case scenario with the Stygian? I think with Hellhorn, I think there's a pretty good chance we just brick here if I don't get Steelworker or Railbeater. And even there, are they even that good? I don't know, because I have to go like bottom or mid floor. And then Titan Sentry would be probably just as good as either of them. Either of the sweepers would be good. And Siren of the Sea, I think, would be good. The worst case scenario here is that it's Guard of the Unnamed and Nameless Siren. That would be the worst case, but that's a very low chance to get specifically those 2. So it's like, here, I have specifically 2 I have to hit for it to be a brick, whereas over here, there's just specifically 2 I need to not hit to be a brick. So 4 of the choices are bad. Over here, 2 of the choices are bad of the 6 uncommons. And we don't really factor in rares, because they're just statistically not that worth factoring in. I'm probably spending way too long on this. Let's just go left. I think when you're in that much doubt, just go to the Merchant of Steel. That's heuristically making sense. Large Stone and Smidge Stone. I mean, I could put those both on Alpha Fiend. And there's... yeah, Incant Armor. It's worth factoring in. Large stone and smidge stone, not really what we're looking for, but everything both together is good. Okay, there's a Siren of the Sea. We'll take that for sure. Now we have something to pair with Soul Guard. You know, 225, 195, 25. I could buy all of this. Wait, 195. Yeah, I could buy all of this technically. All of what I want here. Rainstone, large stone, smidge stone. Because here's the thing, I could put the large stone and the smidge stone on Alpha Fane. And then the incant armor on Siren of the Sea. And then that all fits on the floor with Soul Guard, but again, we're going top floor there. Is that even that good to invest in an Alpha Fiend like that? Because well, we got a lot of dupes. I'm like, I could also just put it on the Siren, and we don't have to care that much about Alpha Fane, I feel. Like, I could just go large stone and smidge stone on Siren, and that might be good enough. I mean, the plan here, it could just be as simple as they get that front-loaded health and damage, and they're 1 pip, so I just dupe them twice. And maybe even eventually 3 times. All 3 fit with the Soul Guard top. That actually seems like probably just the best call, right? So we'll do that. That's pretty clear. And we don't even need to spend money on this. We should save a little bit of money for the upcoming Merchant of Arms, because we definitely want to deploy the Siren Song. That's very important to this strategy. There is some anti-synergy with this these guys because they get a lot of damage up top, but Siren Song will make short work of them as long as we can draw it in time. Granted, we did take a draw downgrade, but I think either way we're good here. Let's go Siren in the back, I guess. Put this here, that there. Can fit a Mollusk Mage on the floor. I could torch that. I'd rather just torch myself, honestly. We'll just put this in the very back, get another incant. We do need to start taking spells, though. Literally, the only spells we have are like our starter cards and the alloy, which consumes. I don't think we need to play too much into savagery here, so like, especially now that I put this Mollusk Mage on the floor, like, I don't necessarily need to get my 1 thing of scaling here. Then again, maybe I still should. Let's just protect you. Might as well get a little bit of scaling here. If I'm going to dupe the unit, I might as well get a few extra attack. Alright, we did not get you-know-what. But that's fine, I suppose. Oh, I should have put this down. That's fine, we'll get the kill here. For this fight, do I really need the Siren Song? I might as well get my my value here. Let's see, you have 5, and you have 3, so 5 by 8, 40. It's not like I'm getting I mean, I still kill these if I do this. Let's pop you. So we're getting a perma-scaling. We can put the Siren Song down if we redraw into it, because we don't care about the backliners here, where they're not going to scale. Our incants. Alright, they're dead. Might as well let the Siren get this kill instead of accidentally losing it to Frostbite. That was actually a little bit close for how ridiculous our stats were. Really? The Mollusk Mage got that kill? Really? Okay. Well, that was kind of a waste, but whatever, because those Mollusk Mages aren't really going to be used long term. Yeah, these are probably, this is Stygian rares right here. They suck. If I'm feeling desperate, I guess I could take the Spike. At the very least, it's often an easy way to incant, but I have to have used most of my energy because a lot of times I'm just going to have to play it on myself if there's no enemies there. Yeah, it's just not that good of a card. If I'm worried about Fleshweaver, I could take it to have a way to just get some Frostbite onto it and have it lose stacks of flesh. That is not a horrible use of it. Here's my problem, though, is like getting cheap incant cards with the Shattered Halo is a little bit tough, so I am actually thinking maybe I should just take this. Yeah, I'll take it. Incants are going to be hard to come by. I could even take the Impalate just for it being a spell, but not with a Calcified Ember. One-Horn Tome could be useful. I mean, we have the Alloy, we have these two Pauldrons. Eventually, I could put that on maybe the Soul Guard or a Siren, either one, whichever one I can get enough armor on first. Probably a Siren most of the time. But does it win more? I think we don't. There's a very low chance we're actually going to care to do Rage on this run. Even like a Rage Room doesn't make much sense now that we got that Sirens thing. I think One-Arm Tome we could take, but like, when am I ever going to be able to play it? Because we're not taking this Merchant of Magic. There's no magics here. I wouldn't take this one because I'm taking dupes. This would be like the only magic I'd take along with a final one, and I would rather just take a One-Home Tome later if I'm going to take one. I actually think we skip or actually take Impalate here. Because the problem is these Foregone Powers aren't even that good of incant cards right now because they keep discarding each other. And at least I can play this on the floor without any targets. I don't have to damage myself. It'd be so weird to take this, though. I mean, this is going to be... The problem is, both my spells I've added are consume, and this thing at least doesn't consume. It's a better incant card than Foregone Power and Torch. But it has a Calcified Ember attached. I mean, what other cards am I going to be looking for cheap incants? It's not really something I factored in initially. Like, I mean, I could take Dark Deal. It hurts me, though. Any ally I see, I'll take. Everything else is so expensive. Spike, I guess I can take. And the Stygian cards, Ice and Pyre would be a really good one. Harness of Titan would be a good one. Spike, I guess I'll take. Everything else is super expensive. I don't know. It's probably not worth taking any of these, to be honest. I was very close to maybe taking that Impalate, though. There's a Siren Song if we needed it. Could take the weapons cache if I'm going to hit another arms, because if I get both of them deployable, that could be a thing. But then I'm going to have to take like Ember upgrades galore, and I don't really want to do that. I'm pretty sure I want to take double draw. Pretty sure that's what I want to do. Meat shield. That's okay. Let's take a look here. Gross Michelle or Michael, whatever you call it, is on my shit list. Granted, I'm sure it would be okay. And it's not technically my RNG, it's the submitter's RNG, so maybe it won't break. But, maybe the second form won't break, but You know, could be pretty good right now, but these are just good value picks. I kind of lean toward Perkio. It does give me an immediate downgrade, kind of, but in the long run, we're looking for incant cards, and that's a way to get them. Otherwise, I got Alloy and Spike for Yorick. So that's 50 gold a turn. I will almost certainly play both those every fight, or 50 gold a fight, and could get future consumables, a lot of consumables in the rare pool. But I think this is just better. We need incants if we're going to properly do this, and those are some great incant cards. Deploy that. And I don't know. If I add these, I'm adding non-spells, and they're just not really that useful. I could even just spend some money on removals here if I wanted. We're not going to Merchant of Steel. So we're going to Trinkets. That's why I'm like, maybe I just hold this gold, you know. But we could take... We got 140 gold. We can remove one card. We'll just remove a Spear Steward for now, I guess. Alright, this shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. We're going to take... so you'll go up here. We for sure play this, and we for sure play that. Otherwise, we play that. Yeah, I mean, we'll take a huge hit to Siren of the Sea, but hey, we got Large Stone for this type of scenario, right? We will take some Pyre damage here, I guess, the more hits we do. But we only really need to hit this guy with one on the Spike. Mollusk Mage will just immediately die to the spikes, I guess. It wouldn't immediately die, but I think we just go like this. Oops. Alright, we'll go like this. Just get these incants in. Now there's enough Frostbite that we'll at least get 5 pounds of flesh taken off of him, and then we'll get this hit as well. That's already a huge hit to this guy. Now, of course, we're going to take some damage, but we factored that in. I suppose now this makes sense. Could do this. I want to keep this thing alive. That kind of makes sense. I need torches, and having this guy around could help me kill these without killing my Pyre, so we'll take 4 here. If I can get torches on the right turns, then this would be a lot better. Right, they're all just dying, but we still want our incants, so we will do those. And we're going to take a lot of power damage to the at least we can kill this one. And I don't need... This guy's already hurt enough. I don't need to create another thing that will hurt me. So I don't think I'll torch him here. He's got 5 pounds of flesh. Losing 2 more is fine. I just want to limit the damage to my Pyre since it's a low health Pyre. And no sense popping yet. Right, good. To get these here. You see how long with the Siren Sun we're allowed to keep the Titan channel, you know, not pop. Well, I'll wait all the way till the end. I mean, might as well. I don't have any real big reason to play Forgone Power here, because I don't want to accidentally throw that away. Plus, I can just play these. Alright, we're taking 2 more, I guess. Could pop it now. It really sucks that we're not drawing a torch, but I guess I'll take 2 more. There's nothing I can do about that. Could just put this here if I'm not going to pop it now. Am I being greedy by... this is probably fine. This is only giving me 6... It's giving me 12 armor. I'd rather just incant like twice if I can and then pop, right? And we're probably already winning. Maybe even with just this floor. We're almost already just winning with this, so that's fine. Let's limit the frostbite damage here, I suppose. This is fine to do here. So look at this. 132, 133. Now granted, this is obviously a high roll situation, but to go back to the hate on Soulguard that I see, it's like, dude, this is a first path of the champ, and it's 132, 133, like a Shadow Siege worth of stats. You telling me this is a bad champ? Alright, not too bad. Ooh, this one's tough. I do lean toward the Ice and Pyre, because keep in mind we are going to, maybe in the end game, even with Savagery, need a little extra something to kill these tanks without taking Pyre damage. And I don't know, if I only want to dupe the Siren once, I could fit a Mollusk Mage on the floor, and that could help. Also, we do have magics later on that can just add damage to it. I think we take it. Okay, is Steelworker or Sentry better here? There's a Calcified Ember with a Sentry. But Steelworker with the Alpha Fiend I might like a little more. This would also help with killing tanks. Just put this mid-floor. Which maybe bottom floor here makes sense. But, yeah, I'd have to imagine the Steelworker is the call here. And opens up Dualism and Titanite. A lot of good upgrades. We want a self-sustaining unit that we don't... We're focusing our cards played up top. I'm pretty sure we want to go double draw. Especially just seeing how hard it was to draw into stuff. Plus we got extra energy with the Perkio to some degree. Damn it. This is why I hate the interaction here on these artifacts like Footstool. I really wish that the logic was that if I only had one room and it was deployable, that it would still apply to it. I really think that's how it should work. Because, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you only get offered one artifact, rings 1 through 3. You're always offered a Merchant of Arms ring 3. You often will need to go to that Merchant of Arms to put deployable on either an equipment or a room, like in our case a room. And so you got these two artifacts. You got the Footstool and then whatever the equipment one's called, where they do this reduce of the cost to 0 and draw it immediately, which is super powerful. But in almost every case you're going to find these artifacts after you've put deployment on your key cards. So most of the time you see them, they don't actually do anything for you. That's almost always a speculative pick. It's either a speculative pick because it's offered ring 1 and you most likely don't have anything for it yet, or it's a speculative pick because you already burned your deployment and you're taking it and now having to find something else to put it to interact with. So I wish I could because now I really don't need if I would have known I'm getting this, I never would have done the deployment, because then my double draw upgrade's even better, right? But now, here's the thing though, if we are hitting a Merchant of Arms, which it doesn't look like we are we hitting armories, I guess? We are hitting an armory there. We also have a lot of draft opportunity to find another Siren Song. So here's where I'm just thinking out loud right now. I could just take this Footstool anyway, and I'm likely to find hopefully another Siren's Song room. And then I can just get it out for 0, but do I even want to do that? Because here's the thing, I still want to add spells to this deck. Tether Scales could be good. Let's just take Tether Scales. We don't need to do anything else here. I could also have enemies enter with Frostbite, that's okay. That would help us with corruption, maybe. I don't know if that's that good, though. Let's take a look here first. Draft a rare card for my allied clan. Draft an artifact for my allied clan. Unfortunately, a lot of the Hellhorn artifacts aren't that good for us, but there's definitely some good ones. Or, drafts only offer selections from your allied clan. Normally that would be pretty good with the Hellhorn here, but ironically not really here. I would say that given what our deck has become, just an incant deck, it's not actually good. So I think we just go with the artifact. Well, not gonna take that. Literally the worst one we could have got. It's okay. Could re-roll, but I'd rather hold this gold. Does flexing Cold Channel ever make sense here? I'm trying to think what world this makes sense. It could technically help with killing tanks, but it's just not needed. We do this. The full Titan Channel gets you such a ridiculous amount of stats. Heaven's Seal's fine. These all die anyway to, you know what. Put you here. We will have Scourge Shufflers, which will be annoying in this fight for sure. We'll definitely kill them where we can. We want to wait for Alpha Fiend up here. We can put this here. Alright, already Tezascale is putting in some surprisingly good work. That's really good that we killed those early Scourge Shufflers in this deck. I don't even think we need to put Alpha Fiend down. We're better off just getting some incants here. But if it's going to do that, that's perfect. That's the best discard order we can get. Alright, well, since I can kill one of them, might as well just do this. And that. This, I need to remember, is... Let's see what this does. Alright, worst. I was owed that one, I guess. May not want to incant this, but I think it's okay. I mean, I can do this anyway, right? Now we start to get the Scourge issue, though. We're better off starting with this so we can try to get the 4 out of 5 here on one of these. That way we don't take damage. But I guess we just get the worst out of the 5, of course. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? That's annoying. Well, whatever. Horrible RNG gonna do horrible RNG things, I guess. Since taking damage, I mean at 10 we're obviously gonna be fine here. I can't complain about RNG too much because we did get those early Scourge Shufflers killed with the torches, which is fine. Alright, 150, not too bad considering we couldn't incant past a certain point. And I will say in fights, situations like this for Gunpowder is a good incant card because obviously I just don't have the energy to play with it. Should have torched the boss, by the way, but that's okay because I forgot those guys just go up immediately. And these are examples of not so great incant cards. Other than gifts can be a good incant card sometimes, and honestly, I don't think it would be horrible here. It's a little risky, though, in the long term, but we may not care that much about the long term. I think it probably is positive. If I can get Consumer Move, it's obviously very good, too. I mean, it just, if anything, it's 4 incants for 1 card and 3 energy. I get the cost down eventually. And like I said, if I can get Consumer Move on a card, then I can... Honestly, if I go Consumer Move on a Excavated Ember, I could go infinite in some cases. So we'll just do that. And I could take the Dark Deal. As long as I have Mollusk Mages on the floor, this is a little bad. But I eventually won't have Mollusk Mages on the floor. It's also pretty bad with the gifts, though. If I am caring about gifts, you know, this could be not so good. I mean, I could use it on an enemy. Yeah, I don't know that it's worth actually including in the deck. Just skip it. Yeah, it's time to get another Siren. And, you know, maybe something here. Okay, we got Multi-Strike here. I think that's worth taking. We got all this money. I'll re-roll otherwise, try to get some sort of defensive thing for the Steelworker. Zone of Silence is acceptable. Unfortunately, we already know we're not getting the Deployer's Manifest or whatever. I could technically put like Stasis Crystal on a Siren of the Sea. I think I still get my incants, since it doesn't need to attack anyway. It does give it a lot more stats. Feels like it's okay. Otherwise, the Zone of Silence is pretty hard for me to take. I probably will have to take 1 Ember upgrade anyway, but it's without the Deployer's Manifest. Like with these bosses, I just don't think it's that needed. Yeah, I'll take a Stasis Crystal. I think it helps me scale for the bosses. And we'll reroll here. Damn. Maybe I should have just took the Smidge Stone on the Alpha Fiend. I probably should have, because then I could take this Large Stone. I wasn't thinking, but it's okay. We'll just do this. And we'll do this for now. Do we need to do this on anything? I mean, I'm not going to incant that much on these other floors, and we're maybe hitting the steel. I mean, we might want that health and vortex, so this magic might not get hit. Yeah, we can just leave these slots open, I think. I could go quick on this, actually. Kind of makes sense. We got enough money that it does make sense. I'll hold out for maybe a Titanite or Dualism on the Steelworker. -1 per turn's a little rough here. We also have this boss, which obviously is not the greatest to fight top floor. This is pretty hard to play if I don't do it in deployment. So I think we'll just do this. So we take the red card. Obviously can't do this. Just torch you twice. Do that. We'll take my money there. Trying to get as many incants as possible here. (95/2) will still kill this at 170, so that's 190 damage. Can't play gifts this fight. I don't think I'll play the Forgotten Power here. I don't want to risk... I guess I could play this gifts. You know what? I will. I know I'm like sapping the crap out of me, but this is still positive. Maybe I can still just kill that guy. And again, I'm not going to play that though, because I do want this thing to guaranteed get played. Well, I already got these pauldrons on, but I could do this. So I go like this, and then that. I still get my benefit from it, and then it will be gathering stats here, which is fine. And just throw these out. So this is obviously a little bit risky up top, but we're going to have a ton of stats, so I'm really not too worried about it. Actually play this. Nice. Oops. All right. Not even worried about it. I saw the X-Mar on my side, but we knew how many stats were coming. We got a almost triple double Shadow Siege here in front, followed by Shadow Siege times 2 behind it, and then half of a Shadow Siege to finish it all off. And we're going to stack a ton of stats actually for Pyre Savagery, so win-win. Look at that. Stats across the board. Pretty easy hardness to Titan here. Easy incant card. So we can take an Ember upgrade if we think it's useful. I do think it's useful. Don't think I want to take anything here. Even with the Ember upgrade, I don't think I want the One-Horn Tome. It's just a little too hard to play. I already have cost reductions wanting to go on the gifts, or just these other cards. I really don't need another strike. So it's either spike or skip. I'd take the spike if there's no Ember, but I'm just going to skip this. It's not that important for me to take that card. Alright, Totem Fragment. Obviously we take that. Sigil of the Seaweed. Obviously we, I guess, take this. This would be good if we run to Ring 7 Scourge Shufflers. Other than that, Collection of Tails is not really needed. I could still reroll here. I probably should. Yeah, let's reroll. Pyrestone Housing. I don't know that I'm going left. Because we already want to, I'm pretty sure, dupe the Siren right now. There's not a better dupe. There's not really that good of dupes in general right now. Other than the Siren, and it seems kind of pointless to do this. The Crystallized Wing also, like, ironically, is kind of bad for us because often I am using Spike on my own units. Well, I guess that's fine. It's just permafrosting it. And then I can permafrost the gifts, but I'm gonna be reducing this card most of the time, I feel. I don't know. I could just hold this money. None of these are really that good for me. The Pyrestone Housing is like, we may not even use it. We just hold this gold. And we'll get another one of these. Let's go with the 38 attack one. It's Kale. We could remove another card here. That's fine. Remove a Spear Steward. So there is some potential issues going top floor here. I could actually see some reasons to maybe set up mid with this floor. And then still put this up top to finish things off with. But I think eventually the bottom floor here will be doing pretty good work. I think we actually want to... Here, I'm going to do this for now. I need to get that in. I think I probably should be putting the siren in front, actually. We can remedy that mistake right now. Let's put one of them in front. I think we put both in front. We want this thing in the back eventually, because it's going to have more stats for Relentless. And we'll just get our incants in here. Blast this fool. Not too shabby. You already got 7 shards first turn. The reason I want this thing in is I want to kill these tanks, because these tanks could hurt my Pyre. We could do this now. This is maybe worth risking here for 1 incant. Bastard. Worst discards manageable. But I do need to scale, so it is what it is. You can have that. This doesn't really help us. See, now it's extra annoying because this guy's here, right? So he's going to give extra damage shield to this. Hitting it doesn't change anything, it's just going to eat up the spell shield. So, pretty fucking annoying. Oh, you know what? He doesn't give it because it's on resolve. Okay, we're good. This thing will still hit me though, because it's at 105. Is that true? No, days 3. I'm good actually. Yeah, I'm not taking any damage. I have nothing to worry about. Let's do this, and we might as well do that, and we'll just hit you. This is looking good. Pretty good there. These don't matter. Thank you for your service. Alright, finally we didn't get the worst discards possible. It's probably worth doing that, and I do want this thing to stick around. But, yeah. The reason I'm putting the frostbite down there is to break damage shield, especially with him going mid there. And similarly, we want to break this, but then beyond that, we'll just do this. More incants. Just don't want to take Pyre damage right now. This guy's gonna get a lot of damage shield, but at least this is muted, so that's fine. Yeah, that frostbite allows me to not take any damage there. Luckily, this guy sticking around actually eats up some of that damage shield, so we're killing here without even popping both of these units, but of course we will still pop them, because why not? Gotta get as as much as possible. Look at that, 400, almost 500 stats. And even it's the incant plus the stasis crystal. This guy gives Titan Channel a run for his money. We got a 292, 316 guy in the back. So yeah, I mean, this, as we can see, this is not too bad of a run. We'll just have to see what the submitter did. My guess is they maybe just didn't take Shattered Halo, and it's a completely different run, but I would argue you just should take it. I mean, Shattered Halo is very predictable with what you can kind of find on a run. Like, this is not that unlikely to find, because it really limits what you find on a run to a specific set of cards, right? It's probably skip or just another gifts here. Probably just skip. I do want an Ember upgrade, it looks like. So we can go either way here. I think we go... If I go left, we're just looking for Titanite or Dualism for the Merchant of Steel. That's it. And the health is not needed, but the removals are super good. I mean, we still want to get rid of, like... I probably want to get rid of Forgotten Powers at this point, especially with what we got going on. But if I go to the right, it's another chance at Consumer Move, which is the best upgrade I could find. That's much better than a Dualism or a Titanite on Steelworker. I can get cost reductions, which I want. I can get spell chains. I can get... that would mainly be it. That's all I'm looking for. But that's already better, I think. Like... And just some plus damage on the torches, I guess. I do want to kill the Silence Enchanter units because they're kind of cramping my incants. So, yeah, we'll just go to the right. This is why I didn't take Pyre Stone Housing. It's like, you never know like what's going to happen. And you get it until it happens, right? I don't mind permafrosting this. It's also a good way to get its cost down. And Spell Chain... I don't mind spell chaining one of these. If I can then consume remove it as well, we're infinite. So we'll see. We could pseudo remove one of these with that. It's probably fine. Let's take a look here first. Hall of Mirrors, Siren Song. Yeah, we don't need any of that. I mean, Void Armor might be alright, but it's just not that needed. Instead of going 10 here, I'm going to go 10 here. I think it's more important right now that I am able to kill the Silence Enchanters. Alright, no Consumer Move, unfortunately. Holy Stone. Search Stone one of these. Get that down to 1 cost. Don't think we need a holdover. Holy Stone's probably not worth my money here. So now we're actually are low on money. Go full Titan Channel, get the ridiculous stats. That is by far the most annoying thing we could have ran into here, and coupled with the Mark of fucking Evasion. I think it's fine, though. I can still take this mark. We'll still put the room up top. I'm just probably going to have to go bottom with my units. You know, with the Pyre health being on the other side, it really makes me annoyed that this is the fucking... I guess now I wish I took the Holy Stone to some degree, but it's still only 1 health each time I play it. Yay. Well, I got 6, what is it, 6 Deployment Ember to play with. Or is it 8? No, I got 6 to play with. So... I'm going to put 2 up top to the Siren Song. I got 4 to play with. I can go 3 Siren Songs mid, Steelworker, bottom, Steelworker mid. And then hopefully draw Alphine relatively soon. I mean, 160 by 3 does kill that? No, it's 5 health short of killing it, right? So 160 by 3 is... No, it's 480, right? 480, so it does kill them. The gladiator, it might not kill. I think that's 500 health, right? But that's fine. We can do some damage there. I think we're fine. These dudes are a bit annoying, but it is what it is. So we're going to go Siren Song there. All of them here. Is it worth to put this here? I mean, it's just going to die. Why don't we just put this here? I do like want that unit to stick around. I guess I could have put him up top, but I want the Alpha Fiend here to deal with, you know, this other stuff potentially. Get rid of that. Kill that. I don't want to take all that damage. So he'll die to Siren Song. Just want to keep you alive for this, and then past that we don't care too much. And this thing's gonna die. Let's just do this. So I could get 15 by 15. I just don't need to pop this yet. Good thing we drew Alpha Fiend here. Let's get you in, do some damage, kill that. I should have played this first. You know, this is fine. This is, I don't even know that I want to use this. Save that. Just doing that for some incants. So Alpha Fiend will kill that. I do want that thing not to go away. So we'll let that just sit there for now. Alpha Fiend will take a lot of damage here. So I lost a lot of torches. Do we care about Alpha Fiend? With all this stuff coming up. I mean, this saves Alpha Fiend just the same, so let's do it here. Let's get rid of this. Alright, you're alive. I might as well pop this now. That way I don't take... If I do have to take damage mid, I don't want to take double damage. Yeah, 400 stats is plenty fine. Come on, bottom floor racks. Floor Rex is dead. Is there a way... we could just do this. Perfect. Look, we saved it for a reason. Perfect. Flawlessly executed, if I do say so myself. Skip. It's an incant card. There's no calcified ember attached. I will say I'm probably going to have to be wary of playing gifts if I don't find consumer move coming up, so I only have a little bit above a 50% chance to do that. Just adding more cards is... I think I am going to take it, just as a cat card. Now a really low chance to get consumer move. It's below 50-50 now. Entering with Rage. We got all this money. I forgot name for sure. I like jackstrips. That could assist with killing units and breaking... Yeah, just killing the units, I guess. It doesn't really break any shields or anything. It breaks reanimate sometimes. Spell Chain, Intrinsic... Spell Chain and Harness is sometimes okay. I do like the 10 here now. $400, still a pretty good amount. Reroll this. Technically I get some benefit from Gurg's Goad, but I think we're past the point that Alpha Fiend's really even that useful to us. I will say we need to think about the Titans a little bit, because we're going to... 325. I think this is an okay spell chain. We're probably not going to dupe the Siren again, since we don't have space for it. These are just the worst upgrades possible, but okay. Debating duping this then. I could Holy Stone it. It's either that or the Harness, but do that. It's making it still good for killing the whatchamacallit. Get rid of one of these and one of these. And I do think we're just going to Hell Vent the Ice and Pyre. That's going to help me out most. And we're just not going to play the gifts, I think, other than maybe one time if I'm desperate. That's a nice thing about permafrosting it, I guess, is there's less punish in that regard. So we'll definitely go top with these. Put all of them in. Put you mid. This is not a great gifts because we got our 3 most important cards in the pool. So we just won't play it here. We don't have the silencers to worry about here yet, so we'll just get all of our incants in. Definitely jack strips will help prevent a lot of damage here. I almost feel like putting this here. I don't know that it accomplishes too much for me though. We do want to kill that. Luckily the mute here is really nice. It allows it to not incant the other stuff. Put that there. Play this twice. Incant that. Put that there for it to die. I don't really need to play this here. Let's just... Alpha Fiend's likely to be drawn next turn, and I can only block 1 hit here, so let's put this here. I just want to get these things out of the deck, really. See, now it's a little risky to incant this. Now it become gifts could be playable here. It does have, and I could just not incant here. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we get the torch. Oh man, both ice and pyres. That's rough though. Well, it is what it is. And they need so many incants. I don't want to take any damage here. I could probably try to Forgotten Power it though. Wow, we're just bottom decking the shit out of this Alpha Fiend apparently. Might as well save these. I don't know. These tanks are just 160 by, what is it again? It's 480. They will hit me once. Kind of need to save these for those type of turns. Could do this for now at least. Then that at least nullifies that unit. I'll try for this. There, we got it. Perfect. Don't want to take this damage. This guy should die with that. There, we'll do this. We'll do that. Will not take damage. So 469, this guy actually does die, so I kind of feel like I should, I don't know, I kind of do need to incant at the same time. And this guy's dying anyway, so to some degree, this is just fine. I think I should hold these still though, for like this floor, which could be pretty rough. Luckily we got that. We can do that for this guy. Do we need it for this guy? Seems like we do. That actually puts that guy in range for, I only need 480, so yeah, we can do that. I just need to kill this guy too. It puts him in range if I do this, right? Because he'll take the piercing damage. I need to kill that guy too. I got 2 of them to worry about. I need to, just in case I have to not deal with them, we'll be a little bit careful here. It's okay if I can't deal with the silencer here. Yeah, this looks fine. They're taken care of. I suppose we don't care about, well, I might as well redraw that though. And we just have to make sure that this guy here is taken care of, which unfortunately he is going to hit us. Actually, is that true? No, it's not true. Alright, so we're fine here. We can just do this. And then that he's taken care of. Let's do that, that, and that. Yeah, we got 500. We're good. Oh, actually, I didn't even need to damage that guy because it doesn't actually resolve if you're killing the boss. So I probably over-prepared there, but we got through that perfectly, actually. No damage taken whatsoever. So full health. I'm going into this fight pretty good. You know, I will say the Siren Song for this fight, I may not want to play it. Let me think about this. Because that'll make the enemy hit me more. Dominion. And I can scale well enough, I think, in this fight to deal with the waves. And you know, we only have so much Pyre health. I need to be hitting the boss. Yeah. We'll still try to delay as much as we can, but I don't think we play this fight. We'll get them in to help a little bit, but they'll die eventually. Pretty soon, actually, but you know, it is what it is. Could do this to make them live a little longer. That might be worth. I think it is worth, but we should put this here. That. This actually makes sense here. We don't need it on another one of them up there. Ooh, if I gifts and it hits the both ice and pyres again, or even the harness of Titan, that's really rough. It should be statistically pretty low that it does that, because there's all of these other spells it can hit. And I do need some incants. I think we have to roll the dice here. It's just insane how bad my luck is. Like, to get both of those each time, such insane bad luck. Such absolute bullshit, to be honest. That's kind of fucking pissing me off now, but whatever. Well, let's at least kill that. Do this. I gotta save these, I think, for at least the boss. Like, I need to get that damage in here. Pretty fucking annoyed though. Just insanely bad energy there to get both. Not just one, but both of them. Come on. Both fights. Like, that's less than a % chance. I don't even have to pull up the calculation. Like, that's just so much less than a 1% chance that that fucking bullshit happened. Pretty fucking pissed. But whatever. It is what it is. We could sap the shit out of Savagery. That might be better than sapping Dominion. I don't know that that's true. Honestly, if I sap the shit out of Dominion, that might be better. Then I can actually play Siren Song. And I might want to do that. I do kind of want to do that. I think that makes sense. So now we can actually play Siren Song. So this is okay. I still want to wait on Soulguard, I think. If I can. Yeah, we do want to get this played. Stasis Crystal. We should just put this here. That way I save the health, and then I can pop this if I ever need it. So Dominion will die pretty quick now. It's got 12 sap. We'll have to pop this turn, I think. I mean, I don't absolutely have to, but it's looking likely. I do want to protect this guy to some degree. So we'll just play this. If I do this, I preserve my sap a little bit. I think it's fine. Then I just get the extra incant, and we'll pop that. We should be good here. We need to just make sure the entropy dies, but... And I guess to some degree savagery. I think this is worth. He's got all the spell weakness here. Might as well hit that. Make sure we're hitting you. Corruption's annoying, but between the pauldrons and incanting should be able to keep him alive. We may have to limit our incants here. I could pop him here to kill one of these tanks, it's just not that necessary. We gotta preserve our pyre health, because this fight's gonna go a little ways. Almost made that doable. Might as well get the attack up, just limit the amount of attacks that have to happen there. I mean, I could still incant here. I mean, all of these things are dying one hit, and they're never hitting me anyway. It's non-boss units. I think it's fine. Worst possible discard. Sap is getting lower, but that's okay. Entropy's getting down there. Alright, I think now that we got these tanks coming in, I could unstasis this. Just make sure that that's getting hurt. Hit you. Perfect. Yeah, we just need to kill entropy now. Holy fuck. Maybe I should have not done that, I don't know. I think it's still okay. I don't know, Soulguard's going down. I need to definitely kill this thing hopefully soon. It really sucks that we couldn't find a consumer move. Oh, I didn't realize gifts for a guard became consume. I must have missed that. I got silence here. We can take care of that. Alright, we got through it. It was a little hairy there at the end. Alpha Fiend actually got the kill, nice. No, Alpha Fiend was still relevant. I am glad that we kept it around, and I'm definitely glad we took the stasis equipment. I took the stasis equipment kind of on a whim. I was like, yeah, it seems kind of positive. Yeah, it's actually super positive to this run on several different fights. It's just a really good equipment. The more and more I play with it, the more and more I like it. It's just flexible in what it can provide you in ways that you just don't typically, you know, think of. So, yeah, I mean, Titan Channel, pretty good. We could have maybe waited a little bit longer at the end, but I actually think we timed it pretty perfectly considering it died only right at the end. I think that means we maximize the value out of it. And, yeah, I mean, definitely the Shattered Halo was obviously pretty positive, I think. Granted, the Merchant of Magics did not play very nicely with us, I would say. You know, we never got a double stack, we never got a consumer move. Consumer move is the main one we wanted, but to some degree, you can't really plan around getting one particular upgrade, right? And, yeah, I mean, the Sirens, they were just sort of the standard Smidgestone variety. No multi-strike, but that's okay. Pairing it with large stone in this case made sense, given that we were needing some front-loaded survivability and damage. And then beyond that, just it was an incant deck. Any spell will do. I mean, the fact that we took Impelate kind of proves that. This thing actually was killing stuff. I got to say, the Harness of Titan was pretty good. So, Jackstrips put in a lot of good work. Forgotten Name was not useless. It did things. Every artifact was useful, I would say, to some degree. So, yeah, fun run. I am actually... At the end, it was a bit tough. I still wouldn't say it was like, super cursed or anything, but certainly at the end, it was a bit tougher than I had thought it would be. So let's see what everybody else did. Pip upgrade, huh? Interesting that they did not take any other artifacts, but other than that, we got the same start, same champ. They went with the Rage Room, Frost Piercers... Siren with Endless? Titan Sentry Dualism. The Endless should go on the Titan Sentry, I would think. Oh, well, they just found a consumer move. I don't know where that was found, but apparently probably like the one magic that we didn't find had it, so I'm guessing that they could just go infinite there, right? If you have two of them, you can just get the deck down to some degree. You got the one-harm tome. They've had a double stack as well and a triple stack. Or I guess it was a zero stack. But, yeah, certainly, I don't know. I don't want to sound petty. I know I'm being petty here, but this just to me seems like they found the much higher roll sides of the map, in my opinion. But obviously it's still pretty good stuff here. As a, one-harm tome, we could have taken it. I probably should have, in hindsight. Definitely would have been positive, but yeah, definitely doesn't surprise me that they got a super high score. This player did not take the Shattered Halo, and they still won, so that shows that you didn't need the Shattered Halo to win. I'm curious what cards were offered elsewise. Funny thing is, we don't really see much difference here. I mean, to me, this kind of shows that Shattered Halo is much more powerful. When I look at this deck, it's like there just isn't as much. Like, if you look at the non-rare cards in this deck, is anything really much more powerful? And to be honest, they kind of got, the rares that might have been good anyway, without having the Shattered Halo, but I would say results not typical there to some degree. And yeah, I don't know, I guess a Flash Freeze and an Ice Storm, that's like all you're getting from, and I guess an Offering Token is all you're getting from not going Shattered Halo versus being able to get potentially some really good cards, right? So I would say that this is actually a pretty good example of just Shattered Halo being a better choice, in my opinion. They got the full Titan channel, no surprise there. Perkio, they got everything here is something we saw, so. And Shattered Halo, Yorick. Yorick's fine too. I think Yorick and Perkio were pretty close in value, potentially. They went pretty hard in the Alloy of Ancients. They got the consumer move too, huh? They got double consumer move. Interesting. So I'm guessing for sure that means that, I know we didn't take the Ring 3 magic, so I'm guessing it was found there. So they could go... It's actually a shame that they didn't go with the Perkio, because they could have gone infinite. But obviously it's still super strong to have at least the torch coming back every turn with the gifts. But still good. We got Tangalicious here. Wow, I'm surprised that Tangalicious did not take the Shattered Halo. I would have thought him to be a Shattered Halo enjoyer. Looks like they're going infinite, though, potentially, with the Excavated Ember there. Now I'm really curious which. It had to have been a later consumer move if the excavated amber is the one that's getting hit. So it's even though the Ring 3 probably had a consumer move, it seems like one of the later ones had it too. I'm trying to remember which magic I even skipped later. I felt like I hit pretty much all of them. Like I even skipped the Merchant of Steel later. I don't recall what Merchant of Magic I must have skipped to be able to miss the consumer move. Crypt Builder, pretty good. Branding right, interesting. And still similar artifacts. Oh, this is me. Ebel also skipping the Shattered Hail. Interesting. That's a pretty good Siren of the Sea. Oh, Hidden Passage. Interesting that Abel's the only one that took that. Oops. I meant to go... Yeah, I mean, that would have been interesting. Because you can make a pretty big floor with all these sirens and stuff. Lukewarm Toaster Oven. There's a Fledgling Imp, interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Toaster, by far the most different deck of anybody. Going with the Imp and Horn Warrior. Well, if anybody's watching this that did skip Shattered Halo, I'd be curious what your thoughts were there. Maybe is it that you just don't value the Stygian rares, maybe? I could see that argument. Or maybe you just really want the Hellhorn commons. I could see that argument too. I just feel like it's so positive generally, though, to take the Halo. We got the first player to flex a Titan channel or a Cold channel, which I don't know. I don't know if it made much sense on this run, especially when you got that one-arm tome there. And then what was it? Oh, okay. I was like, weird. It visually did something weird. Who is the submitter? Let's see what. All right, we skipped one here. It's Cuddlebeard. So the only losses. See, this was a loss. It went Cuddlebeard. This was a loss. It went Cuddlebeard. They at least went Titan channel. We can maybe try to see what went wrong on these. This guy died to Savagery's Final Assault. I'm guessing they just didn't set up bottom floor if they're dying to the boss, because this looks like a fight that, or a setup that should have been fine for beating Ring 7. I also will say, if you're going to invest in entropic crystals with an ancient synergy like this, I would have definitely spent a dupe on this. But I also just don't know where that entropic crystals was made. It also doesn't seem like it tracked how much damage it gained. Unless it just literally never gained damage. So like they didn't reserve it at all. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So this one died Ring 4. Seems okay, but I gotta say, this is, to me, an example of Cuddlebeard just being a much weaker pick. Like nothing here was really advantaged by, in my opinion, like, it's like, sure, you got this, but you don't have an Endless yet. It's like, maybe you find it, maybe you don't. Like, it just seems kind of weak to me, looking at the state of the deck at this point. Like, I feel like the state of my deck was much stronger at this point. And I think this is the original submitter. They die ring 2. How? What? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. This looks a little wonky. They actually die ring 3, but they must have abandoned it or something, because there's no way they should have a meat shield by then. You know what I mean? So we already know that they definitely made it through ring 2. It shows a victory here as well. So it's just like, I'm guessing they abandoned in the middle. Maybe rage quit or something. This doesn't make much sense. Large stone on the shield steward, and then a smidge stone on the alpha fiend. Like, yeah, that just doesn't make much sense to me. You might as well just double up the large stone and the smidge stone together on the alpha fiend. You don't need to hold out for like a multi-strike. And I don't know. And again, I gotta say, it's just looking at the deck, it just looks much weaker than the Shattered Halo variant of it at this point. Yeah, I would say a combination of just taking, in my opinion, the weaker artifact early and not putting the upgrades where they need to go. Because, remember, we had a Siren's Song alone. Just that alone is so much more powerful than anything here, right? They could have... But here's the thing. From what I recall, so they went to the Merchant of Arms ring 3. Wasn't it for sure a Siren's Song offered there? And I can't remember if Shattered Halo has any effect on that. I don't think it does on the shop, so I think they should have seen this, because I remember seeing a meat shield too. So I can't recall for sure, but I'm pretty sure a Siren Song was offered there. If it was, they definitely should have took it. I mean, that's much more powerful than taking a meat shield and anything here, really. I mean, you still have the Titans. It should still work, right? You can put your Shield Steward and Alpha Fiend on their own floor, put the Soul Guard top, put this Song top, and that will get you through ring 3 and much of the other rings too. So I think it's just maybe a misplay there. So that's all I can think of there. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.